Hi, my name is Mary. Today FM plays the best music in Lambasa. Today FM rocks.
My name is Thomas. I'm here in Nakasi and I like to listen to Today FM because it rocks.
My name is Milenia. Today FM rocks here in Singatoka.
My name is Alfriti and Today FM rocks here in Tabwa.
My name is Mary Jane. I love listening to Today FM here in Ba. Today FM rocks.
My name is Ilaiti Ambal and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks here in Osur.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In the news tonight, EFL clarifies misrepresentation to shares. The silting works begins in Nakovandra River. And Muslims around the country celebrate Eid.
From the studios of FBC Suba, Amrita Sagar.
The Energy Fiji Limited has clarified that Fijians taking up non-voting shares on offer will not have to fork out money in any circumstances. A parcel of 150 shares is being offered to all non-subsidized EFL domestic account customers, while a parcel of 250 shares is being offered to all subsidized domestic customers. Pranita Prakash reports.
Energy Fiji Limited's Chief Executive Hasmukh Patel says there has been some misrepresentation to the shares being offered.
Share has a value in terms of dollars, and what it means is that you are now a shareholder in the company. You are, as I say, shareholder. Part of the company belongs to you, so to speak. And therefore, should the company going forward make profits, which we are making, then, and when we declare dividends, they will share a portion of those dividends. At no time will the shareholder, because they are a shareholder, will have to fork out some money out of their pocket and pay to EFL. The reverse is not true.
More than 40,000 Fijians have applied to take up the offer to register for free non-voting shares of EFL. The deadline for share registrations closed on Tuesday. However, those who qualify can still apply.
Of course, it does not stop people from applying today, even though it closed. And if you said, oh, I forgot to do it, you can go ahead still and register. If you're an account holder, you can still get your access to shares. And you know, as we know in Fiji, generally people tend to be a bit slow about these things in terms of applications.
Meanwhile, EFL has partnered with the Central Share Registry Limited, a subsidiary of the South Pacific Stock Exchange, who will now maintain the registry of EFL shareholders. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
An operational fishing vessel, Tuipunga, which caught fire at the Suva harbour last night, has been towed out into sea after firefighters could not contain the blaze. The Maritime Safety Authority of Fiji says the incident happened between 8:45 p.m. to 9 p.m. MSF Acting Chief Executive Captain Philip Hill says the vessel berthed at the wharf to discharge its catch and was reloading to return to the fishing ground.
We have not ascertained the cause of the fire, but the National Fire Authority attended to the fire and tried to contain the fire. They managed to contain the fire, and at the same time all the master and the crew of the vessel was removed.
Desilting work has begun in the Nakovandra River in an effort to minimize the impact of flooding in Rakiraki town. Minister of Waterways Mahendra Reddy says this is a huge boost for the people of Rakiraki while commissioning the work yesterday. Ali Kimbia with more.
Rakiraki is a flood-prone area and has been severely affected during the recent floods this year. However, hopes are high the desilting project will lessen the impacts of flooding.
Infrastructure gets affected, gets damaged, people's life gets affected, school children are not able to go to school, and the entire township comes to a standstill. Ladies and gentlemen, those days is going to become days of the past.
The $1.3 million project will take 4 months to complete.
So the total length of the Nakovandra River that will be desilted and cleaned up with debris and logs is 3.5 kilometer, 2.5 kilometer from the bridge here, right up to the river mouths.
Reddy says they are committed in trying to mitigate the impact of flooding for the people of Rakiraki.
We want to assure the community here in Rakiraki, on behalf of our government and Honorable Prime Minister, that we are committed, we are serious about ensuring that we fix some of this problem that has been there for decades.
The Ministry of Waterways is currently carrying out the desilting work as well as dredging work in the major rivers of Rewa, Ngawa and Singatoka. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
After 30 days of fasting and prayers, Muslims around the country flocked to mosques in the early hours of this morning to celebrate the first day of Eid al-Fitr. Muslim League President Hafiz Khan says Eid is a day to celebrate peace, thanksgiving, a day to forgive others and show victory. Kelly Vadala visited mosque this morning and filed a report.
These Muslims have completed a month of fasting, and today they're expressing their gratitude by means of distributions, especially money to the poor and the needy.
Very auspicious day because it's the end of 30 days of Ramadan and fasting, where they fasted from before sunrise to sunset. It's the day that we share our not only our belief, but we also share our charity and our generosity. Because this is a festival we believe for everyone who has who have lived here and live with us, because the whole thing about Islam is peace and love, and that's what we do.
Imam of the Samambula Jamei Masjid, Abdul Alim, says charity is an important part of Eid celebrations.
They all come with the one faith that today they'll have something for their family, and they'll be taking some money from, because our Prophet ﷺ have said, in every happiness you must never forget the poor people.
Some have been sitting outside the mosque since 5 this morning, hoping to collect kind donations that will be able to help them.
Nobody help us, that's why we come for the money, for my son can eat something.
Hundreds of Muslims from the Central Division gathered here at the Samambula Masjid early this morning to start their day with prayers and to mark the end of Ramadan, which is bringing the 30-day of fasting to an end. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
Meanwhile, Muslim families also opened their doors to people from various communities today to share a meal and some great company after their morning prayers. Fiji Intelligence Unit Director Razim Baksh and his family in Samambula ensured their guests did not miss out on this special occasion.
Every year I invite my neighbors, my families, relatives, friends and my colleagues from the mosque. So they come and spend time with us and eat sweets and eat specially made biryani by my wife Safina.
Coming to my good friend Razim's place for every year for the past 12 years, I think, actually. It's something that brings all the different communities together.
Still to come, RFMF looks into peacekeepers' welfare and call for more houses to be insured under cyclone cover. Stay with us.
Bula, never go Malakai Leloma, Gongai Nakas on the Wagarong Nambula FM, Nambandua and Nasir.
Oya Vasit Sais, Lambasa, and the Teleta Navarro and Nambula FM, Nambandua and Nasir. We are the Tumeli, Aquana Town of Hingatoka, Talitakina Navarro and Nambula FM, Nambandua and Nasir.
Never go find a town and go sing a talk. A kit on the Talitaka Nambula FM, Nambandua and Nasir.
Bula FM, Nambandua and Nasir.
More can be done to improve the welfare of our former and current peacekeepers to UN missions. Fiji Military Forces Commander Viliamina Poto says they have received suggestions from relevant stakeholders on ways to improve this. Ali Kimbia with the details.
The welfare of our peacekeepers serving overseas mission is paramount, and the RFMF says it will continue to find ways to protect them and their families.
I heard some very good suggestions from the Minister for Women. We certainly need to not only look after our peacekeepers well, but there is the big task of also providing the necessary support that we can to the families.
Peacekeepers sacrifice their lives to promote global peace, and more still needs to be done, as many have gone through tough situations in war-torn countries.
Like I've done before, they never worry about those. But now it is an honor that it comes out from the horse's mouth that they are supporting the Fiji women and men who take part in peacekeeping duties all over the world.
Former peacekeeper Sakaraya Bulisuba says the government should put in more effort.
More should be done. We were underpaid at that time, the first time, which you might be knowing that what they are trying to do now. and the government should think of that, pay them properly.
Over the past 4 decades, around 30,000 Fijians served as UN peacekeepers around the world. This includes the 900 Fijian peacekeepers who are currently serving under the UN banner. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
A week-long celebration to commemorate the sacrifice of our peacekeepers who served in UN mission 4 decades ago ended with a parade in Suva today. Peacekeeping veterans, ex-servicemen and families of current UN peacekeepers marched through the capital city. The parade was led by President Major General retired Chiochi Konrote, former President Ratu Epeli Nelatikau, and Permanent Secretary for Foreign Affairs Ioane Nevalarua. The President says the week-long celebrations held around the country has made more Fijians aware of the hard work our peacekeepers do overseas.
It is clear that we have done the legacy of peacekeepers proud. We have increased the community's knowledge of the significance of Fiji for UN peacekeeping and the significance of peacekeeping for Fiji. Significantly, we have elevated awareness of the service and sacrifice of our peacekeepers.
More people are getting their houses insured under cyclone covers. This was revealed by Tower Insurance Fiji during the construction industry conference held at the Warwick Resort in Singatoka. Philippe Naikasu reports last year, at least 31% of Tower Insurance clients were insured under their cyclone cover, compared to less than 29% in 2015.
It has been revealed that not many houses are insured under a cyclone cover, and the Tower Insurance Fiji says it's working closely with the other banks to ensure more houses are insured.
We can see that the cyclone cover is increasing, and I believe that is because certainly from the banks, they are now requiring and are being far more vigilant in making sure that cyclone cover exists.
A survey done by the Pacific Catastrophe Risk Assessment and Financing Initiative this year revealed out of the 240,000 homes in Fiji, only 15,000 were insured under a cyclone cover. This also raised questions from the floor.
No, I needed insurance. I'm saying I don't want an insurance because an engineer has certified it, so why should I have an insurance?
And what percentage of completed buildings in Fiji are insured? Mainly residential buildings?
You review the panel because the situation at times are that engineer had given a engineer certificate, and then next year that engineer goes out of the panel, and then the customer comes for a finance, and then we want insurance, which is supposed to be from an engineer that is in the panel.
Meanwhile, the first ever construction conference has been hailed a success as it came to an end earlier today. Philippe Naikaso, FBC News.
People diagnosed with diabetes are advised to demand for more awareness on the killer disease from their healthcare professionals. Diabetes Fiji Chair Dr. Chone Hawe says the onus is on people diagnosed to be curious and ask questions about the disease. Aksita Tale reports many diabetics don't take this seriously.
Fijians diagnosed with diabetes must be well aware of the risks and know how to manage the condition they're living with to avoid further complication.
Very important that you demand to be educated about the condition, demand to be educated about what it is, what are the complications, how you can live a happy and complication-free life, even though you have been diagnosed with diabetes.
Diabetes Fiji has also revealed many choose to ignore and not take advantage of the awareness being held around the country. 2 young diabetics are calling on all Fijians to be aware of the disease.
Doctors tell you need to cut down on your carbs because your sugars are high. But they go for the clinic and they go home and they forget what they hear. So I think it's personally the person has to, really push themselves up.
Regular checkups in health centers and other places like hospitals, and they should exercise regularly, like keep themselves healthy.
Studies have shown that increasing patient knowledge regarding the disease and its complications has significant benefits with regards to patient compliance to treatment and to decreasing complications associated with the disease. Akosita Tale, FBC News.
Ahead in sports, Ronaldo stars for Portugal in the World Cup. And Weber to make tough decision on selection. This and more coming up.
Lola, I am Eleanor. For the best classic hits, I only listen to Gold FM here in Singatoka. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Senirawa. I love listening to Gold FM here in Nosuri. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Dino. I'm from Outrigger, Koroko, Singatoka. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Salote. I love listening to Gold FM here in Nosuri. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Bula, my name is Marida. Gold FM plays the best classics here in Outrigger, Singatoka.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Fiji Flying Fijians have defended the Pacific Nations Cup after beating Georgia 37 points to 15 in the Pacific Nations Cup at the ANZ Stadium in Suva this afternoon. Henry Seniloli scored 2 tries for the side in the first half, but the Georgians took a 15-10 lead at the break. Fiji changed the tide in the second spell, scoring 4 unanswered tries in the game. Frank Lamani scored 2, while Semi Randrandra and Chale Vatumbua scored a try each in the game. Fiji now plays Tonga next Saturday at Churchill Park in Lautoka. Fiji Airways men's sevens coach Gareth Baber believes it will be a huge task selecting the best team for the World Cup in USA. The Fiji sevens team goes into camp on Monday to prepare for the World Cup, and Baber expects all players to lift their performance in the training. He says with overseas players coming in, there will be around 20 players in camp, from which he has to select 16 for the trip to the US.
You want to get as many players on that level as possible. As you saw Semi Randrandra and Joshua Tuisova play in London. You saw obviously Semi Kudutami come in for the Paris leg as well. So there's 3 players already that swell the numbers up to sort of 17, 18, and ultimately I've got to pick a team that's going to go and win a World Cup for Fiji.
Portugal football star Cristiano Ronaldo produced one of the greatest FIFA World Cup performances as he scored a hat-trick of goals in the 3-3 draw against Spain this morning. Both sides exchanged the head in the game, but it was Ronaldo's free kick at the end which stole the show in Russia. Vashnil Prasad reports. Iran and Uruguay also made a winning start in the FIFA World Cup this morning. Iran defeated Morocco 1-0, while Egypt went down to Uruguay by a goal. Vashnil Prasad once again. 4 FIFA World Cup games will be played tonight, heading into tomorrow morning. World Cup favourites France takes on our neighbours Australia at 10 p.m. Lionel Messi's Argentina faces newcomers Iceland at 1 a.m, followed by Peru versus Denmark at 4 a.m, and then Croatia meets Nigeria at 7 a.m. You can watch all the matches live on FBC TV and catch the delayed coverage of it on FBC Sports. And onto the local football scene, the Lautoka football side has defeated Lambasa 2-1 in the Vodafone Premier League match at Subrel Park today. Lautoka led 1-0 at the half-time mark. Benjamin Totori and Kolonio Sivoki scored the goals for the Blues, while Peter Levadi got the only goal for the Mamasinga Lions in the second half. Lautoka now moves to the second place on the VPL table with 13 points, 1 point behind leaders Suva. Cloudy periods with brief showers was experienced over the eastern parts and interior of the larger islands. Fine weather apart from isolated afternoon or evening showers was experienced elsewhere. Checking the west, weather was fine, a good day to do outdoor activities. Eastwards from Pacific Harbour to Suva, similar fine conditions prevailed. And up north, cloudy conditions was experienced today with some slight drizzles in the afternoon. Now at sea, a strong wind warning remains in force for the Vatuira and Kandavu passage. For Vatuira and Kandavu passage, southeast winds 20 to 25 knots, and once again, rough seas are expected. For the tides, high tide will be at 8:48 p.m. with low tide at 1:31 a.m. Sunrise will be at 6:36. As for tomorrow, sunny conditions are expected in Vitilevu. However, a dull day is expected over the north. Tomorrow's temperatures is expected to be Lautoka to be the coolest at 19 degrees. And looking further onto Monday, a patch of showers, but other than that, all good. Recapping the main stories, EFL clarifies misrepresentation to shares. The silting work begins in the Kauvanda River. And Muslims around the country celebrate Eid. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM, to our poll question segment. This week, we're asking, do you think police drivers should do more defensive driving courses? Visit our FBC website to answer. You can always send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via our Facebook page FBC News, or you can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or simply hashtag FBC News. And that was your FBC News for tonight. Before I leave, once again, Eid Mubarak to all our Muslim brothers and sisters. From the team and I, have a safe and enjoyable evening. Bye for now.
Hi, I'm Jyotishma. I'm from Singatoka. I love listening to Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM is hot.
Mirchi FM is #1.
I'm Charlene Robert. Mirchi FM rocks in Lambasa.
I'm Sonami Nasori Jackson. Mirchi FM is hot.
My name is Raymond Dutt. I'm in Baba Singh Alliance. Mirchi FM is hot in Lambasa.
I'm Pritika from Jackson Nasori. I love listening to Mirchi FM here in Nasori. Mirchi FM is hot.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.